In the past year, 7 homicides have been reported by Guam police. But could there be more? Committee Chair on Public Safety Senator Chris Barnett horrified at the thought.
I shudder to think, and I'm hesitant to say this on the record, but I worry that people in our community are getting away with murder.
Outgoing Chief Medical Examiner Dr. Jeffrey Nine telling lawmakers that without a medical examiner for 3 years, Guam police may have slipped into a pattern of not calling his office to the scene of certain deaths. Nine says it is currently up to law enforcement to notify his office.
So typically what happens is a medical examiner's office has a 24/7 staff with a death investigator on call. Someone in the community, whether it's the police department, the paramedics, the emergency room, they know right away to pick up the phone and call the medical examiner. Hey, we have a dead body. We want to report it to you. Well, that doesn't happen on Guam. We don't have that process.
He adds that the lack of a system in place paired with no cross-communication has resulted in a handful of disagreements between the medical examiner's office and police on the conclusion of cases.
And I would say they also have kind of fallen into that category where someone wasn't either notified or I wasn't called out at a scene that happened on a certain day until like 2 or 3 days later. And so that causes a problem with my findings, and then they couldn't go back and investigate it properly.
KUAM reached out to the chief of police on the issue. Still, Dr. Nine says he doesn't entirely fault GPD, re-emphasizing the need to establish policies. He hopes to do so even after relocating.
We can establish those policies to say, hey, when such and such deaths occur, when it's a firearm death, any firearm death, you have to call our death investigator. If it's a suicide that's suspicious.
Meantime, the island's Attorney General notes that the current law does not make it clear that GPD has a mandatory reporting duty to call the medical examiner. Still, senators argue the law should be updated.
I just indicated that it's very important that we